I'm going to be addressing all this stuff online because I'm tired emotionally and mentally of seeing people try to make me out to be a person that I am not, but with a testimony without a test of faith. So I'm going to start from the very beginning with this my type thing. I got permission from Travis to say these things because these are previously things I didn't want online. But I'm going to tell y'all the full story just so y'all know. So Travis, when he first ever DM'd me, when we first met, I said I left him in my DM for 2 months, and people said, oh, she left him in his DM until she figured out who he was. That is not true at all. The real reason Travis sat in my DM for 2 months is because he DM'd me when he had a girlfriend, and her name was in his bio, so I instantly knew he had a partner. So I exited.
Hold on a second. Are you telling me that she came out here to throw this man under the bus? This video is titled Travis Hunter's Fiancé Speaks Out Regarding Backlash After Attending the Heisman Trophy Ceremony, but it should be titled Travis Hunter's Fiancé Comes Online to Say, hey, he's a cheater. I'm not the only bad guy here in this situation. Let's keep listening. Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
I don't care about what people look like or what they can give me. I date people for who they are as a person, how they honor God, and how they treat the people around them. And Travis is all the above. So when I said he wasn't my type, I meant because he was younger than me. I had never dated no one younger than me. And he had cheated on his girlfriend. I don't know if your type is cheaters, but mine isn't. So no, he wasn't my type at first off of those two things. But that didn't discredit the fact that I was attracted to him. That's obviously why I gave him a chance. And then I learned he truly is a phenomenal and wonderful human being. And that's why we're together. And that's why we're still together to this day.
So I guess what she's doing is she's addressing each point, that's brought up. I'm going to be honest with you. The only one I personally care about is he going to go to fathershaverights.com and learn how to get himself a solid and legally binding prenuptial agreement? If he's not going to get a prenup, none of this matters. Maybe she's going to address the prenuptial agreement as we keep listening to more. Maybe she won't. What she's addressed here in this video, it says she's confirmed what she meant when she said Travis wasn't her type. He was younger than her. I had never dated anyone younger than me, and he had cheated on his girlfriend. It's just more on that later. Let's keep listening.
Pop-up shop this past weekend. People are saying that I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Just sit here? That's not what I said. First of all, I said, baby, do you want me to sit here, or do you want me to go with the family, or do you want me to come with you? Because what y'all don't know, again, off of a 7-second clip, is those weren't fans, by the way. He had already finished that part. He had finished meeting with the fans. I was there the entire time, taking pictures, talking to them, everything. The girls that were there, they were the Adidas, they worked for Adidas. So we were taking pictures for social posts. That's who those people were. I wasn't annoyed with no fans at all. I'm never annoyed with fans. So that's what that was. And then Travis was getting ready to leave. He had to be at a rehearsal for the Heisman ceremony. They had to do walkthroughs and stuff like that. So I was asking him, I was like, do you want me just to sit here? Do you want me to go back to the hotel? Like, do you want me to wait for our family? Because his family was in there shopping. Because Adidas let them go pick out stuff in the stores, like a 4 pop-up shop this past.
Okay, so there she's explained the context behind her saying, do you want me to sit here? I guess people thought she had a bad attitude, and she's had a couple of those instances. And here she is very passionately and aggressively defending herself. Let's keep listening.
Actual Heisman ceremony. This is making me so mad because anyone who knows me knows I support Travis in every win, everything he does, because I truly, truly love that man. He is perfect in my eyes. So when his name was called, I instantly was going to, if you watch the video, you can see me like, but his mom didn't get up. So I was like, oh, maybe I don't get up. Maybe I just sit here with her. So I sat there, and then y'all said Coach Prime had to tell me to get up. No, he didn't. He said, go get him. Go get your man. And once Travis stood up, but he didn't have to do that because I was going to do that anyways. As soon as I seen Travis get up, then I thought it was appropriate to stand up, greet him, congratulate him. But then there was a camera right in front of Coach Prime, and I knew they were going to film that moment. And because of how people are online, this actual Heisman ceremony.
Okay, I'm going to have to interject right here. To my young men, especially the young guys who are soon to be married, and there are a lot of people who are getting married right now. You know, people get married in waves. You know, they'll get married in waves. They'll have children in waves. And there are a lot of people getting engaged right now, much like this couple. I don't just want to address this to Travis Hunter because at the end of the day, this is like an internet thing, and they are intricacies within the relationship that we just won't know because we are not there. But one thing remains true. And I really want any man today who is getting engaged or is soon to be married to really listen to this. This is how they'll get you. This is exactly how they will try to guilt trip you and how they will try to manipulate you into entering a marriage that's, number one, may not be meant for you, right? Because you have to make sure that you align with that person and you share the same mutual values and that you define marriage the same way and you understand and you've had those conversations and that you are aligned. That's important. But this is how they'll get you. They'll get you with tears, peer pressure. This could be coming from family, even sometimes your own family. Oh, you know she's a good girl, but you're not sure. You better marry that chick, but you're not sure if you're decided on whether or not you want to marry her, right? And a lot of people will come to you and say, this is the right thing to do. Hey, they wish you luck. And they'll talk about things like prenuptial agreements, like they somehow represent a relationship where two people don't trust each other. You can't fall for this. You can't fall for the tears. You can't fall for the people around you who are trying to pressure you into being in a marriage or a situation, a relationship where they're not going to be impacted by any of the negative consequences that may result from your decision. But this is exactly how they'll come at you all around. Comments, and we're going to check out these comments because I'm sure, especially the women, because they see themselves in her, they're on there going, oh, I'm so glad she came out here and spoke out and stood up and she didn't back down and he's a cheater. Oh my goodness. Now he's a horrible person, right? Because you guys remember the B. Simone video I did a while back where she's like, oh, Martin Luther King wasn't a great man and everything he did really doesn't amount to greatness because he cheated on his wife. This is what they'll have you believe. They'll paint all type manipulation. I'm sure he's sitting there going, yeah, you can tell him I cheated. It's okay. Hey, I need to take some of that hate on me too. Don't fall for it in your life.
Time. And I knew they were going to film that moment. And because of how people are online, I was like, I don't want to be in that shot. So I'm going to sit down. So I try to sit down. So I'm not in the camera while I'm crying. People are going to be like, oh, why is she crying? Like, stuff like that. And so I got out of the camera purposefully so they can have their moment. That's all it was. No one told me to stand up. No one had to tell me to celebrate with him. I was just sitting there crying. I wanted to take it in myself too. I was super excited for him. But I wanted the moment to be about him and his family. And that's another thing. People are like, why did he sit next to her? Why was his mom? We had assigned seats. I didn't have a choice where I sat. They are obviously going to put some crime. And
I don't care about any of this stuff. Are you signing a prenuptial agreement? Is all. You're going to let that man go to fathershaverights.com and know his rights. Yes. And so I think, this is from the Shade Room here, and I think this is the perfect place to actually read comments from. We're going to check out some comments here. Why? Why do I say that? Because these represent probably the majority of emotional type of responses you're going to see now that he's been painted a cheater or that she's trying to, take some steam off her. I don't think she's a bad person. I don't think he's a bad person. I just think that because I saw another clip of somebody else, I think it was Shannon Sharp, and I'm going to get into that as well. I saw him talk about let him make a mistake and it's okay. It's not okay. It's not okay. And to the people who are saying, why do people care about a young man's life? Let him live his life. It really points to this place we're in our society where the older experienced individuals in society are shamed for giving constructive criticism to the younger generation. and you're allowed to make your mistakes. But not everybody wants to learn the hard way. Not everybody is as stubborn as even I was when I was younger. As I got older, I got better with that, not wanting to learn the hard way and deciding, hey, you know what? I'm going to trust that what that person's saying right there, because they've lived it and experienced it, is true. And because I see the results of it with my own eyes. So I don't think you should shun guys who have experience and the OGs out here from giving counsel and guidance to young men. I think we need more of that. Right? Let's check out some comments here, see what the people have to say. And of course, guys, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think of her video and the response there? Comment down below. So the first comment here we're going to look at says, I'm glad she took the time to address these social media attacks in which she didn't have to, but I'm glad she did. Social media, along with its perceptions and optics, isn't always reality. This is the main reason why people need to mind their own business. There's an entertainment factor to all this, especially when you put yourself out there, when you become a public figure. People are going to highlight, hopefully with nuance, and make sure that they're presenting the information along with their commentary and opinions in an honest way as possible. But it's the nature of the internet. And yes, there is that side. But I think most people are just approaching this from a place of wanting to make sure he does not end up in a bad situation. Here's somebody else who says, unpopular opinion, give her grace. And this all makes sense. Give her grace. Let me tell you something, gentlemen. There is no grace when it comes to choosing the woman who you're going to marry. And what I mean by that is you don't get do-overs with that, right? You don't say, hey, let's just try this thing out when you're deciding to pick the woman who you should marry. It's too much of an important decision. That's the woman who's going to raise your kids. Now, personally, I think if this is the woman he values and has chosen, and if those allegations about her being an ex-stripper are false, then, go ahead and marry her with protection, with protecting your assets. Somebody else here says, crazy how this is overshadowing his big accomplishments, shaking my damn head. I will say that her addressing it did not make it better as far as the next move, when they were wondering what the next move should be. I think she should have just chilled out and just kept to herself. And eventually people have been like, you know what? She kind of just kept to herself and stayed out of trouble. We might have been wrong about this whole situation. And hopefully, of course, the prenup. Somebody else here says, the fact that these young kids got to get on here and explain themselves to a bunch of miserable grown people is sick. Leave them alone and go find you some business of your own. These are not young kids. These are adults. They're of adult age, and they should be given the proper guidance. I think this is another issue. It seems like people only label you as grown once you're either, past the age 30, when it comes to competence and giving guidance. You say, oh, have fun, enjoy your life. And you're not an adult at 21 and 23. They're both adults. Somebody else here says, you for the streets. Okay. Here's another person who says, honestly, I understand why so many black folks are worried about this chick. Okay. Here we go. But at the end of the day, he wants her and he'll have to learn the hard way. The red flags are there, and this girl could definitely be his downfall. Bottom line is, these chicks are groomed to prey on these young black male athletes, and history just repeats itself at the end of the day. It's his choice. Another person here says, let's not make this nobody a somebody, please. What do you guys think? Do you think there's a part of that? Like she wants to maybe become, put herself out there in the spotlight. I don't see how this situation helped anything at all. Because now all she's really done is say, oh yeah, he's a cheater. He's not an angel. He's a cheater. Because before, she's getting all these different allegations, and now people can put him in the cheater category, right? Somebody else here says, silence is golden. Right. Here's another person who says, she put him onto Lil Wayne music, so she can't be that bad for real. Here's another person who says, girl, I'm not trying to figure out why did you go on a field last week and yell at him in front of everybody for no reason. That's the thing, man. People see her react, and we all know a chick like that, easily charged up, arguing in front of him in public. She did argue. She didn't address that because that was probably facts. Here's somebody else who says, y'all would hate me as a celebrity because I'm not clearing up a damn thing. Okay. Here's another person who says, I've seen better acting in PORN. That's hilarious. Heisman Trophy reception. Here you go. This chick says, okay, so this is a top comment. I should probably read a few top comments. This chick says, it's actually weird how invested people are in their relationship. You see, guys, these comments right here are very much in line with today's society, right? In today's society, you see people who date without any guidance. No one can say a word. You don't have people who are older than you giving you advice. This is positive advice. Positive advice. And it's so unheard of that people want you to leave them alone. So what happens when you leave young men and young women alone? Well, increase in single mother households. A young man is now responsible for child support and is drowning in debt, especially someone as talented as this. Somebody else here says, y'all are giving her too much of a platform. Like, wrap this up expeditious. I feel like some of these chicks are just jealous. Here's somebody else who says, baby, we don't care. I promise. Remain blessed and enjoy your man. Here's somebody else who says, girl, you will never win a fight with social media. Explaining yourself for nothing. I still stand firm in the fact that older men should not shy away from giving guidance to the up and coming younger men, especially those you see and care about who are making mistakes that you might have made when you were young. You know, the Bible says that God chastens those who he loves, meaning with discipline comes love. People do not discipline people who they don't care about. They don't correct their behavior and set them up for a better future. Usually, you know, the quote goes, never disrupt your enemy when he's about to make a mistake or in the process of making a mistake. And I definitely do not see Travis Hunter, this young man and this young couple overall, as an enemy, but rather as an opportunity for all young men to learn and prepare themselves. Guys, listen, as always, I appreciate you. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.